Okay, so good day, mabuhay, and blessed be God forever. Here is another video for your lesson, for another lesson in science. For this quarter, third quarter of our school year 2020-2021. So again, good morning. Welcome to science class, and I am Miss Jasmine Malea P. Alfonso, your science teacher. Okay. So without further ado, let us now go on with the things that we need to talk about or do today. So for today, we're going to have the following. Just like the previous lessons that we had, we will have again our review of the previous lesson, the lesson one that we had for third quarter, discussion, review activity number one, and review activity number two. Okay, so now let us have first our review. So for the review time, as we will go back on the things that we talked about the last time, we had some information or gather some information about asteroids, comets, and meteorites, right? So we talk about the different things or types of asteroids and comets, parts of comets, and some important words that we need to remember when it comes on um considering, okay, meteorites or meteors. Okay, we had their fireball, meteor shower, and everything. So those are the things that we talk about lesson one last time. So since we're done with the review time, okay, we're gonna have now our discussion proper. Okay, so that this video will not take a longer time. Okay, so for the discussion time, okay, let us have our second lesson in science. Okay, so in our synchronous class, I let you hear or listen to the songs that we had before on about the next lesson that we had in the next lesson that we will be having in science right now. Okay, and I know that you already encountered this lesson, but since you are now on your on your high school level, we will talk about on this topic in a more broader way. Okay, you will add some information about this topic. Okay, so the title of lesson two is matter. Okay, so before we had our song about matter, right? So we can define and never forget matter. And the title of the song is What is Matter? Am I correct? Uh-huh. So the song is What is matter? What is matter? Where are you? Solid, liquid, and gas too. What is matter? What is matter? What are you? Solid, liquid, and gas too. That is the definition of matter that we had when you are in elementary, right? But since you are now in junior high school, let us define matter in a more broader way. Okay? Do you believe that matter consists only of solid, liquid, and gas? If it is a yes, that can be acceptable. If it is a no, that can be also acceptable. Because in this lesson, we will know if it is really a yes or a no. If it is really only solid, liquid, or gas, or there are other properties or phases of matter. Okay? So let us define matter in a broader way. Okay, so according to this presentation, matter is made up of particles, the smallest of which is the atom. I know that you have heard already about atom before. Let us define and know more about atom. Okay? So atom are tiny invisible particles. When we say tiny, these are very little, okay, particles or things around us. Invisible, which cannot be seen in the naked eye. Okay? So that is an atom. Okay, now let's go on to the proponents of atomic theory. When we say atomic theory, this speaks about atom, okay? So there are different proponents of atomic theory, and let us know what are these proponents, okay? So the first one to investigate the origin of matter is Thales Miletus. Can you say Thales Miletus? Okay, so he is the first one to investigate the origin of matter. Okay, where matter came from, how it is formed. Okay, so he is Thales of Miletus. Next, so the one who proposed that at a certain point everything was made up of air is Anaximenes. Okay, can you say Anaximenes? Okay, so he is the one who proposed that at a certain point, everything was made up of air. So I think this is focusing on the gas part, okay, of matter. Next, the one that thought that fire is the source of natural substances is Heraclitus, okay? Again, can you say Heraclitus? Is the one who had an idea that maybe fire can be the source or is the source of natural substances. Okay, next. So the one that invented the four elements of matter, which is air, fire, air, and wind, is, yes, Empedocles of Akragas. Okay, Empedocles of Akragas. Can you say that? All right. So he's the one who invented the four elements of matter. Okay, so since we're done with the proponents of matter or atomic theory, let us now go on to the phases of matter, which will answer our question if solid, liquid, and gas are the only phases of matter. Okay, so for the first phase of matter, let us have the solid classification. So there are several solid classification. Okay, so this will give you more ideas about matter. So the first three are: first, molecular solids; second, metallic solids; third is the ionic solids. Okay, so what is the difference? When we say molecular solid, this is the weakest among the types of the solid classification that holds solid together. When we say metallic solid, these have a wide range of melting points. Okay, so it is more stronger than the molecular solid. Next, when we say ionic solid, this is the type or classification of solid that has a higher melting point than the two. Okay. Now let's go on to the other classification of solid. We have another three, which is the covalent network solid, amorphous solids, and crystalline solid. Okay, so what are the difference of these three? So covalent network solids are extremely high melting points. If ionic solid have a high melting point, this one have extremely high melting point. Okay, it is higher. Okay. Amorphous solid has a disordered structure at the microscopic level. So when you look on it on a microscope, okay, so it is not organized. It is disordered. Okay. Crystalline solids, it is arranged in a regular repeating three-dimensional structure. So it has a repeated phase. Okay. Or when you see it or when you look at it, it has a repeated structure. Okay. So since we're done with the solid classification, let us review again what are the solid classification. First, molecular solids; second, metallic solid; third, ionic solid; fourth, covalent network solid; fifth, amorphous solid; and the last one or the sixth one is the crystalline solids. Okay, so those are solid classification. Now let us go on the liquid properties. So we have 7 liquid properties. First, we have, can you say cohesion, adhesion, capillary action, viscosity, evaporation, volatility and vapor pressure, and boiling point. Okay, again, let us repeat the 7 liquid properties: cohesion, adhesion, capillary action, viscosity, evaporation, volatility and vapor pressure, and boiling point. All right, don't forget those 7 liquid properties. And I know that you already had that the previous years, right? And on your elementary days, but it's just a brief discussion. Okay. Okay, so this one will answer if really solid, liquid, and gas are the phases of matter. And as you can see, we have added phases. Okay, so we have the gas. Yes, we have also the plasma, and plasma is made up of electrically charged particles, hot ionized gas, or electrons break free. That is plasma. Okay, and we also have the Bose-Einstein condensate. What is a Bose-Einstein condensate? It is a state of matter of a dilute gas of Bosons cooled to temperature close to absolute zero, or the lower limit of the thermodynamic scale. Okay, that is what Bose-Einstein condensate measures. Okay? Okay, so we're done with the Bose-Einstein condensate. Let us now go on to the last part, which is the kinetic molecular theory. So since we already had the atomic theory a while ago, we will also have a kinetic molecular theory, which is also connected with matter. Okay, so what is kinetic molecular theory? Gases was established to explain the properties of gases. So this is the one that explains about gases. Okay. So I think those are the things or information that we added about matter. Do you have questions and clarifications? Feel free to message Miss Jazz, okay? So it's more of remembering all those things or information about matter. And we will also have other discussion about it on the next coming days or weeks, okay? So if you don't have question, okay, so since we're done with the review, the discussion, it will be time for the review activity number 1. Okay. So just like what we're doing before on the previous videos that we had or video lesson that we had, I'll just present on the screen or on this video the following questions. You can use your whiteboard and marker and eraser or a paper. You can pause the video so that you cannot go on with the answers right away, okay? Or you can ask someone to review you on this part, okay? So get ready with your whiteboard and marker or your paper. So the instruction is just read each statement carefully. Write the letter of the correct answer on your whiteboard or your paper. Okay, let's start. So that is the first question. And the answer. Okay. We have some items here that you can also see on your module. Second. Third. Fourth. Fifth. Sixth. You can pause the video, okay, if it is fast. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. Then the next number, 13. Okay, for the other numbers, you just need to write S if it is under solid and L if under liquid properties. Okay, so first one, metallic is S. Next, adhesion, L. Next, viscosity, yeah, it's L. Next, covalent, it's S. Next. Okay, so for the review time activity number 2, since you have your own time, okay, so just answer page 98 to 99 of your review activity number 1, okay? Then also, okay, if you have questions again, feel free to message Miss Jazz. Okay, so reminder, answer your module for your asynchronous class. Don't forget that, okay? So I hope that you had a good mood after our discussion today and you learned something new about matter, okay? So I think it's time for me to say goodbye and have a nice day to everyone. So don't forget to study your lesson and please always, okay, remember all the things that you have learned in our discussion. That's all. Bye.